Review Namaha Children. Now, in this session, we are going to discuss how to open a file and close a file. Normally, a file should be opened, then the processing of the file will be done. Either it may be for writing or reading the file. Once the processing has been completed, the file should be closed. Opening file. Before reading or writing operations, that is, any operation that you are going to write into the file must be opened first. Without opening the file, the operations cannot be done in the file. Python provides a built-in function open for it. On calling this function, creates a file object for the file operations. So this file object is being associated with the file. The syntax is file object, open, and it has two parameters. The first is the name of the file and in what mode that you are going to open the file. The second parameter. File name. The name of your file includes in double quotes or a part of that particular file can be given. Access mode. It determines what kind of operations to be performed on the file, like reading operations or it may be writing operations. So, file 1. File 1, which is nothing but a file object that we have created, and we have given open function taxes.txt, which is nothing but the name of your file as a first parameter, and R. So, what operations that you are going to do in the file taxes.txt is given as a second parameter, which is we call it as a mode, and opens the file taxes.txt in read mode and attaches to the file object. So once the open function that we have given, this file object, or we can call it as file handle, will be associated with the file for reading operations. File 2, the second method. File 2, this is one more file object, open, and either you can specify the path of that particular file. If the file is not present in that particular directory, if the file has been saved in somewhere else, so you have to specify the path of the file and followed by what operations the file that you are going to open for. So when you are specifying the path of the file, always two black slashes should be given. Why? Because when a single black slash is being given in the sense /n, /t, these are all your non-graphic characters, where a single slash is given in the sense that will be treated as a non-graphic characters, but it will not search for the file in that particular path. It will raise an error. So it is, you have to specify two backslashes so that it will search for the given path. It will not treat like a non-graphic characters. The second method is open the file result.txt in write mode and attaches to the file object. So if I don't want to give it in a two backslashes in the sense, we have a next method called as open r e:/main:/result.txt, w. That is, r should be given as a first character in your file path. So, which means that a raw string has been taken. The string which you have mentioned in double quotes, that will be taken as a raw string. It will not take as a non-graphic characters. Either if it should be given in a double backslash, or a raw string R should be mentioned before the file path. File object, or we can say it as a file handle. A file handle or an object is a reference to a file on the disk. So you are saving the files in the disk. So it is an object which is nothing but a reference to the file. It opens and makes it available for number of different tasks. So the object is being associated with the file, and once the file is opened, the file can be used for different tasks or for different operations. All the functions that you perform on data file are performed through file objects. If the file object is not being associated with the file, the operations you cannot able to do in the file. So the file object should be connected with the file that you have saved. File object of a Python is a stream of bytes. So once the object is being connected with the file, either it may read a stream or a sequence of bytes where the data can be read either by byte, or it can read line by line or collectively, or the entire file can be read through your file object. Here we have different modes of your file objects, right? How we are going to open the file, in what mode? So R, which is nothing but reading only, sets file pointer at the beginning of the file. This is your default mode. And R, R plus, W, W plus, A and A plus. These are your text file modes. When you are processing a file through the text file operations, in the sense, these modes you have to specify. And RB plus, RB, RB plus, W, W plus, AB and AB plus, these are your binary file mode operations. So R stands for reading the file, and R plus, in the sense, you can use both reading and writing operations in the same file. If W is specified, only reading operations can be done. If W plus is specified, both reading and writing operations can be done. A for appending your file, and A plus for both appending, that is writing and reading, both the operations can be done in your file. The same way in your binary files also, RB stands for reading. Reading in the binary file, RB stands for both reading and writing, and W stands for writing operations in your binary file. WB plus stands for both reading and writing operations. AB stands for appending in a binary file. AB plus stands for both appending, that is reading and writing operations can be done in your binary file. Once you have opened a file and you have doing some processing in your file, once the job is over, a closing file should be given. The close method of a file object flushes any unwritten information and closes the file object. So whenever, if you are reading byte by byte or line by line, or collectively if you are reading, all the contents will be flushed out from the file, and it closes the file object. That is, the connection between your file will get disconnected, after which no more writing can be done, right? So no more processing can be done in your file. So its syntax is file object followed by a close. A close function breaks the link of the object on the file of the disk, which means that if file 1, here we have an example, file 1 dot close. File 1 object is being connected with a file. Let us assume the file name is test.txt. So it is being associated, the object is being associated with the file test.txt, and all the operations will be done. Once it encounters a close function, the connection between the file object and with the file gets disconnected. After closing the file, no task can be performed on that file through the file object. So once it has been closed, no operations can be done in that particular file. So here we have read and write files in Python. So we have different moves R, W and A, R plus, W plus and A plus. These are the different file moves for your text file operations, and apart from that we have write lines, that is for writing content into the file, read line and read line. These are the some of the contents for reading, functions for reading, operations into the file, and we have seek and close also some functions which is being associated with the file. So these functions we are going to discuss in next topic. Thank you, children.